Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This week we are going to be talking about what I read in September and what I will be reading in October. It's one of my favourite videos to make. I am super excited about what lies ahead, but I'm not gonna lie, September wasn't the best month for reading. In fact, I pretty much did no reading at all. I had I was so low in energy in September. I still am, to be honest. I'm really trying to find ways to kind of like get myself motivated to read again. I don't know why, it just happens sometimes, and it happened last month. So all of my grand reading plans for September kind of went down the drain a little bit. I did read one book which I started in August when it first came out, and that was Skandha and the Spirit War, and I have to admit that was an amazing book. It was the perfect end to the Skandha series, and if you have little ones at home, or if you are interested in YA fiction, YA fantasy in particular, I highly recommend that series of books to anyone who's interested in magic, unicorns, spirit magic, like elemental magic, all that kind of stuff. It was so good. And if you love a good core friendship, I don't think you can find one that's better than the foursome in that book. But yeah, apart from that book, I didn't really read much in September at all. Not physically. I did manage to discover audiobooks though. So although I wasn't able to sit down and read for any length of time really, a physical book or book on Kindle, I did manage to discover audiobooks, and I was able to read that way. So that was good. I did read, well, it was a reread actually, because I'd read this book either earlier this year or the end part of last year. I can't quite remember, but it was My Name is Morgan by Sophie Keach, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed listening to it again. I really enjoyed hearing someone read it to me for a change, and it's kind of awoken something in me where I'm quite interested in reading more audiobooks now. I've downloaded the second in that series, which is called Le Fay. If you're interested in Arthurian myths like I am, I highly recommend it. If you like those kind of like feminist retellings of, you know, people from literature and that, I really, really recommend that book. And it's read, the first book, My Name is Morgan, is read by Vanessa Kirby, and she had a really good voice for that. She really kind of embodied Morgan for me, and so that made it really enjoyable as well. I have two books for October that three books. Well, two books, one short story, and an audiobook that I will be listening to this month. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is really a surprise book because I wasn't expecting it. And it's by one of my favourite authors, Giles Christian. He writes a lot of Viking fiction. He's written a series about the English Civil War, and he's written a more modern thriller type book called Where the Blood Runs Cold. I haven't read that yet, but I am interested in reading that quite soon. And he's also written an Arthurian trilogy called Lancelot, Camelot and Arthur. So yeah, this book was quite a surprise because I belong on his mailing list. He's been working on a book called Norse Oath of Blood for a little while now, like over a year I think, and this short story is a prequel to that game. Now, I'm never going to play the game because I'm not a gamer. Never have been, never will be. And I don't care if you put Vikings in it. It's just not my thing. So being able to be part of that universe with a short story was brilliant. I am so excited, and I've started reading it and I'm really enjoying it. So he did say in his newsletter that I could share that link. So in the description box below, I'm going to leave a link to the short story that you can download for your Kindle. You can download it in PDF. I'm also going to be leaving the link for the audiobook if anyone wants to read it. It's read by a man called Philip Stevens, and if you've ever listened to his Raven series read by Philip Stevens, you'll know how awesome that man is. His voice is just perfect for the genre. So if you are interested in audiobooks, then I'll leave that link down below as well. So the next book I will be reading is Blood of the Old Kings by Sung Il Kim. It was originally written in Korean, I believe, and it's been translated into English. And it's a fantasy novel. I wasn't sure that this time of year, I don't generally read fantasy novels. I prefer to read Christmassy books and autumnal books and things like that, cosy books. But for some reason, I think fantasy has been calling me, mainly probably because I've been writing or trying to write fantasy at the moment, which has also been a struggle of its own. But that's a story for another time. But this fantasy, Blood of the Old Kings, seems quite a dark fantasy, which I think I'm okay with at the moment. I don't like it too dark, so I'm hoping it's not going to be like, gritty and, what they call grim dark, because I'm not really a fan of that. But we shall see. It's on sale at the moment for 99p or 99 cents, I think, in America. But yeah, I thought I'd give it a chance, take a chance on it. And it's about an evil empire and about 3 people who want to overthrow that evil empire. It's about a sorcerer, a dragon, and a swordswoman. And I thought, you know what, that sounds quite cool. It's been touted as an epic fantasy adventure, so I thought, yeah, do you know what, we'll give that a go. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to reading that one. Another book I intend to read is called A Cinnamon Falls Mystery by R.L. Kilmore. And considering the genre, Kilmore is quite an appropriate name. I don't know if it's a pseudonym, I don't know if it was a deliberate choice or not, but I think it's quite appropriate. It is. It's been billed as a perfect small town cozy crime romance for autumn. So I thought, you know what, at least I've got some small town, I've got some cozy romance, and I've got a bit of murder thrown in for good measure. I do like a cozy mystery. I like things like Murder, She Wrote and things like that. So Midsummer Murders is one of my favourite series for TV. And I've been watching a lot of that recently, like cozy crime and stuff. And I'm just in the mood, I think, for a bit of cozy crime. It's about a woman called Nia who comes back to her hometown of Cinnamon Falls after a really bad breakup, which was quite humiliating for her. And she is arriving just as they're doing their kind of like autumn festival, but a discovery is made and a body is found just before opening day, and she has to team up with the town and also her ex-boyfriend, her like high school boyfriend, to solve the case. So I'm quite looking forward to that one. Okay, so the third book I intend on listening to this month is called Miracle on 30 Wolf Street by Kimberly Hanson. It's a sweet holiday closed door rom-com, so I am hoping this will get me in the mood for Christmas for next month, for November and December, fingers crossed. It's about a girl called Holly who is a travel writer, and she doesn't like Christmas, but she's been tasked with going to this town called Candy Cane Creek, and she intends to just get there, do her article and then get out again. But unfortunately her car breaks down, and so she ends up stuck there. She is not happy about it. She meets a guy called Rex, and he not only offers her a place to stay, he also offers to show her around the town. But then he starts to get feelings for her, and I guess that's where all the good stuff starts to happen. So I'm looking forward to listening to that one. I will be listening to that sort of like on my way to and from work. It's just a nice way to start my day, a nice way to end it as well. So yeah, if you want to get a full review on that, join my mailing list. I will be sharing this book or this audiobook in my mailing list at the end of the month on 31st of October. So yeah, if you want to know what I think about it in detail, join the mailing list and find out. But anyway, I will be given a brief summary of the book next month in my November read. So, either way, you will find out more about this book. So that's it for this month. I am at a craft fair next week, so I'm not sure if there will be a video. I've got one scheduled to film, but I don't know how I'd be feeling. I don't know if I have the time to do that. So hopefully there will be a video next week. If not, it will be in a couple of weeks, but whatever. It's just the way it goes sometimes. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and have a great week. See you later. Bye.